Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the tangle Egg and Dart from CZT Simone Menzel. So this is a neat border tangle, but as I say that and I'm looking at Simone's work, you don't have to use it as a border tangle. Just like any other grid pattern, you could use it as a fill-in, or you could use it as, like I said, a border. Lots of options, and this one has some neat decorating options that are really cool. So take a look at the for more inspiration links, and you will see those. All right, so this starts off with a double board, but I'm just going to start singly. We'll see how well I get these lines lined up, to make it that's not too bad, square on the page. All right, and then so I always do the one, and then we're aura-ing the other. And if you end up with either it's off center, or whatever, when you aura like this, you always have an option. It's like, oh, if it was maybe too thin, or too narrow this way, you could aura on the outside. I always like to think about that as a nice little safety net, course correction, whichever way you want to think about it. And then, so this one, once you have these two lines along wherever you're going to use it, then we divide it up and kind of have squares. So I'm going to just do this in half as close as possible, and we'll kind of make, here's the other side, here's the other side, and like I said, and if you were doing this on a longer piece, or maybe just smaller, you would just separate this into little boxes. So it's almost like a grid border tangle, sort of. All right, next step is we're going to do a very steep curve line. And so we're going to come from just inside. We're going to come from the inside of this a little ways, and we're going to land a little inside of this dividing line. So this is one of those where going slow helps. Maybe an air draw, because like I said, it's let me move this here in a better place. Okay, make sure you okay. So like I said, it's rather steep, and you want to kind of touch the top and then come back down. Oh, not too bad. Okay. And holding my breath here. See if we could do it twice. Oh, yes. All right. It's close. They look similar. That's a good thing. All right. Then we're going to aura these on the inside. So, of course, you decide the distance you want for your aura, and then we aim to to keep that distance. Again, going slow helps. Yay. Okay. Then we're going to do some rounding, and we're going to round these bottom corners. And this, you could kind of start a little smaller than you think. And this is where, and if you take a look at, I'm going to put two links. One is going to be to Tangle Patterns, because that's where I found it, and I always like to link back. And Linda has some really good information there, as well as a direct link to Simone's blog. Sometimes I have trouble finding where, if on Tangle Patterns, if she doesn't incorporate the step out into her, I'm going to go ahead and do this while I'm talking. If she doesn't incorporate the step out into that post, you have to find where it says click here, and it's usually the here is in pink. To see the step out information on, the person's blog. So I'm going to just put both links for your convenience. But it has some neat information about the inspiration from this, which comes from architecture. And on one of, and this might have been maybe a SketchUp or something that Simone did, but she shows, she has this, and this is one of the variations where you could create a, like do a seed here, but it's like, this is the egg. And then in here is the dart. So anyway, so we're rounding it so it kind of gets that egg-like shape. I noticed in her step out in a couple, she kind of did some rounding, up here, and maybe it was just to create the shape that she wanted to. I'm not sure. You take a look. That's why I include these links so that way you can take a look for yourself. And again, she also has some variations and things that you can also do. All right, I'm kind of happy with those. Maybe this one just to shade it in just a little bit. Okay, then on the flip side, we're going to do a big curved line. Not this one, definitely not as steep as this. Just just a little one. And we're going to go have it go from this corner to this corner, but underneath this part. So we're going to use the hollow bow technique, and if you don't know what that is, we're going to it's the technique is drawing underneath, and hollow bow is an actual tangle. So you can take a look at that. I know I have a video of it, but here's how it goes. So I'm going to draw up until this point. When I get to what I don't want to go over, what I want to go under, I'm going to lift up my pen, travel it across as if I'm drawing, but I'm not. Put it down on the other side and continue. So that looks like this, like so. And then we're going to aura that. Same idea. And then this one. And there is just something extra neat when you do it this way. So it's like one continuous thought versus, oh, I'll do two curved lines up here and then two curved lines down here. It just has, I don't know, a continuousness that's neat. All right, so now is essentially decorating time, but I'm going to follow what Simone has in her step out. And that is, we're going to start down here and just do some straight lines. And I'm going to start in this little corner and work out both directions carefully. And I always like this as a nice, filler or a decorator to add these nice little straight lines. And it's still just going slow so that way, because I got a couple places where it kind of went a little off the rails. But that's okay. Once it's all done, nobody is going to notice. Maybe not even me. Even if I've done it. Maybe if you're are more of a seasoned tangler and you've done a lot of tangling, have you ever found where I can't remember where that place is that I goofed up to go back and fix it? That's just magical. And then I'm going to fill in this side. But you'll notice on Simone's work that there's other things that you can do here. There was other tangling, like I said, or actually I think yeah, I'm looking at one where she made these lines curved in. So just starting off with it that way, that actually creates the seed. And it's nice to have a tangle like this that has neat options just already built in to have fun with. And of course, when you are filling in like this, if you need to shave a little bit off of something just to make it make the shape look more like you want it, you could do that. That's course correction number 1. All right, now for some shading. And I'm gonna follow. I like that she did an example of shading in here. A lot of times that doesn't happen. It's usually like in the samples that we'll see samples of the shading. And of course you can shade however you like. But I like how she did this with putting some graphite. And I'm gonna go light at first, in the bottom here, and then going up the one side. And actually I didn't need to go up that high because I want to be able to just take some of the graphite. Maybe I'll leave that one like this. And this poor tortillon is about had it. But let's use it anyway. So just with a little circular motion, bringing it out, and then you can extend it, because I like to bring it to a point where it sort of disappears into the paper. the gradient. You could also do a similar thing, but have it a little ways away. That creates a little bit different look than having it right at the edge like this. And then I like to make those edges kind of jagged a little bit. One darker than the other. Yeah, oh, let me dim this just a tad. Oh, whoa, not that much. Well, I guess that's my choice. Okay. Yeah. Although, all right, if you saw, I'm gonna say it. If you saw this already, you have to tell me in the comments. I'm using the back end of the tortillon. It doesn't. They don't erase, but for whatever reason, because it doesn't have graphite on it, it seems to pick some of it up, and where I want it to be a little bit lighter. So kind of like an eraser. All right. So you tell me if you are not seeing, like, if you put. So I'm just like totally seeing, like Shakespeare without face. So if I was to draw, a face on here, it just, that's what it looks like to me. Because this looks like a beard the way I've got it shaded. So if you saw that already and were thinking it, let me know in the comments. It's, yeah, or it's just some egghead without a face. Oh my gosh. But really neat. And again, you can shade it however you wish. I'm going to add a little bit something here. Because sometimes I think it looks neat to do this. I'm just putting a little teeny bit of graphite, and I'm going to use here it is, a tortillon that it has more of a point on it to just bring it out a smidge. I was feeling like it needed it. Oh yeah, that looks cool. Could do this other edge if you wanted to. It's a little too tight, I'm thinking, but that just ends up gives a little extra dimension. But so many areas and ways to have fun with this one. It's really, really cool. So I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, would love to have a thumbs up or a like. Feel free to share it with your friends. And if you like it enough to see more, I would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. Make sure to hit the notification bell if you do, so that way you can decide how you want to be notified, if you want to be notified at all. I already mentioned the description section, and to find that, you should see it on the opposite side of your screen where the title is, I believe. If you're on a desktop, sometimes it starts like right underneath the title of the video, and then it'll say like show more or something like that. On my app anyway, it has a little like a down arrow or a V implying, but there's nothing that says click here for the description. So that we say description section because that's what it is. But so anyway, that's how you can find it if you don't know. I've had that every once in a while. I get the question, so I need to remember to mention it every once in a while. So below the links to the step outs, ways to connect with me. If you would like to take an online class, or I like to call them sessions sometimes, I do both free and paid classes almost twice a week. So every Thursday I have free sessions where we do something like this. We take a tangle or two, just depending on what I think we can kind of cover and have fun with in an hour. And we explore it and have fun. So would love to have you join in. Information is on my website. If you can't find it, feel free to leave a comment here. But again, ways to connect with me are there. I think you can probably even email me from the website. And things like that. Also have a really wonderful Facebook community. So if you happen to be on Facebook and want to join in on that fun, information or link is right there in the description also. So with that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.